Hey guys, long time no talk. No mistake. I haven't been playing that much limited lately. Gonna jump back in and do a holiday cube because it's fun, and yeah, I don't get that many opportunities to play with Black Lotuses at all. So these cards are I know a fair bit of these cards, not all of them. Yeah, I'll just wing it. So Assault Monolith. That's not bad. We also have a couple pretty good targets here for any kind of reanimation or ramp strategy. And there's also a sneak attack. Shapeshifter. There's also lands, which you take a little bit more. I think the sneak attack, or maybe the Basalt Monolith, are probably the safest things. Like, there's a lot of these big things you can ramp into. It's just fun. Sneak attack. Assault Monolith. Sure, we'll just go ahead and take the sneak attack. Snapcaster Mage, Thoughtseize, Conscript, Shirtless Agent, Brainstorm, the Abyss. That's interesting. So I don't really see anything super neat, is super powerful here. Like Thoughtseize is very good. Abyss, Zealous Conscript's also quite powerful when there's a lot of planeswalkers running around. But yeah, it's a destroy, not a sacrifice. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the land. It's usually a little bit safer just to take lands. I like him. Daxos. So Sower of Temptation, I think, is just the pick here. It can put you in some kind of awkward spots, but I don't think there's anything else here. Like, I mean, we could just take a land here. One of the fetch lands is pretty strong, but I think Sower of Temptation is good enough. Phantasmal Image is also quite strong. Clones and, World of Eldrazi are pretty strong, but maybe I should actually just take the clone. Yeah, probably. Like, this is a little bit risky. You can kind of get yourself into some blowout situations. Alright, I'll take the clone. 2 mana clone. Fine. Ooh, control magic. That's pretty sick. Cloud Goat Ranger, pretty strong as well. Phyrexian Obliterator is strong, but you have to be in mono black, and I guess, I don't know. Mono black was apparently always a trap, although I think they made it better in this particular cube. Caracas is also situationally nice, especially if you have... there are some ways to abuse it, to keep bouncing. Venser is the guy. Venser, the non-planeswalker version, you can just get up to 5 mana and then kind of bounce something every turn. But whatever. Alright, we'll take a control magic. I always end up playing blue in the cube because blue is just crazy. We got a dual land here, and then there's some stuff. Woodfall Primus is a pretty good thing to ramp into, but we haven't seen like any ramp since the first pack or anything to reanimate. So it looks like we're going to be kind of playing a fair deck. So we should at least be consistent with our mana. Spectral Possession's pretty good. Inquisition's pretty decent. Vampiric Tutor is also pretty strong. Yeah, I probably should just take the Tutor, especially with all miracles running around and stuff. Yeah, I should just put that in. Alright, so a dark ritual, green sun seeing this feet, wall of omens. Rashadaden Port is pretty strong. Still haven't exactly figured out what we're gonna do here, so I'm gonna take the port. I think we're leaning towards like a control deck here, more or less, or control / steal their stuff. We did take the sneak attack, but we'll see about that. Crappy Planeswalker, mediocre Planeswalker, Lion's Eye Diamond. I respect the Storm deck, but I don't think I understand how to run it. There's gonna be Short Fang. Void. Well, as a control deck, this would be pretty decent. Yeah, nothing overwhelming here. Ooh, Nicol Bolas. Wheel of Fortune, Vampire Nighthawk, Mana Tithe. Tapper is pretty decent. I think we want to just edge towards the blue-black control deck, and this is pretty solid against that. So, I'll take it. And this is our original pack. Here's Bob. But I think I want to go with this. We might end up in a Intuition Social Life with 3 cards. So it's a little bit of gifting. Intuition. Intuition's pretty decent. This guy's just pretty gnarly. Turn target creature bigger to the battlefield. Yeah, that's just powerful enough. We'll take that. We may or may not end up with something to cheat it into play later. And we'll take a Godless Shrine. Discard a creature. It's pretty powerful, I guess. Disenchant, I think. Could take a Breeding Pool. It's pretty. There are some crazy artifacts and enchantments running around, so definitely want to have access to that. Phyrexian Obliterator. Primal Command, Cloudgoat Rager. I think we'll just take a Cloudgoat Ranger. And Wildfire, I don't want to build that deck. Life-Bane Zombie. Oh, there, I'll take the Bloodline Keeper. And a Dark Ritual. Or I guess let's go with the Wall of Omens. So we're like kind of Esper control, I guess. Boy. Didn't see anything in the Power 9, I don't think. Definitely didn't see a Mox. Definitely didn't see a Black Lotus. Ancestral Vision. Whatever. Well, we'll see here. So probably not going to be red. Might splash for that. There's going to be Short Fang. Okay, so black control. I guess we could end up being the mono black deck if we really wanted to be. And if we did, I would hate passing the Phyrexian Obliterator, but so it goes. I still think just kind of blue-black control is what we want to do. What we want to do, Vampiric Tutor. I write upon the clean white parchment with the sharp quill and the blood of my students, divining their secrets. Okay, the curve isn't too bad, but we're still a little bit sketchy on our mana base here. Oh, Mr. Emrakul. Well, that's pretty good with Sneak Attack. Maybe we just go ahead and try and do that. We do have the Vampiric Tutor do it. If it wasn't reward taking that, Factor Fiction is probably just kind of insane. Damnation actually pretty good. Although if we're in white, there's a lot of white wraths you can get. The sword. Discard, yeah. I just feel like doing it. This is definitely one of the most fun things you can do, so let's try and do that. Destroy Very good. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to have some fun. So also, yeah, show and tell, sneak and show, mountain plains, rain, animate dead, enchantment. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna. The text on that is weird, but if you just read the name of the card, you can figure it out pretty much. So, Dreadbore is pretty solid here. Time Spiral. Interesting. Glenaridra. Maybe the Glenaridra. Or you could just also take another duel, especially if you want to keep the red splash. It's not a bad way to go. Although I think there's enough really good non-creature spells running around. We could probably just take Glenaridra. All right. Is it Boiler Works? It's not really. These are very sketchy. I think what we want is probably the Signet. Dismember is also pretty good. Blood Gift Demon is also nice. There's some nice stuff in here, but Sundry Titan. Actually, maybe we want the Sundry Titan if we're actually going to run the sneak attack plan. I'd like to have a second thing we can throw in with it. So and this. You sacrifice it, so sure, I'll take that. Tendrils of Agony, that's a storm card, memory lapse, land tax. Some decent mono red cards. I like land tax. Like, we're not in the green, so we're not going to be ramping out any additional lands. We don't have any, didn't get any wastelands or anything yet. So I'm okay with that. Maelstrom Pulse is pretty solid, but I think we're leaning away from that. We're only going to be 4 colors. Precursor, Sword of War and Peace. I mean, swords are just good, but we're not really that deck so much. But oh, I'll probably get Orzhov Signet. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a cost sort. Obviously, it goes way to the top. These are reasonable cards to have. We do want to get some more stuff, more blue sources. Hopefully that isn't Signet wheels, but probably not. The Signets are all like pretty damn good, especially as it's a little bit awkward if they're not in your colors, but as long as they are. Demir Signet, Caryatid, Catastrophe, and 6 mana Wrath, Reanimate from a graveyard. You lose life equal its casting cost. It's a little sketchy there. And sorcery. It's either that or the Signet. Probably should just go ahead and take it, and it'll be Control / Reanimator. We've got 3/4 pretty good targets for Reanimate. So Vindicate, that's quite good. Also, Bonfire of the Damned with where is it? Vampiric Tutor's pretty insane. Hero's Downfall also just great. I think just destroy target permanent is what we want. Also these lands. I think Vindicate's just like the best possible removal. It's like Hero's Downfall, only like it destroys lands, just destroys everything. Bone Shredder's also pretty good. Alright. I think there's a good chance I was supposed to take the land there. Like, we're 4 colors and we only have two lands. We do have 1 Signet, and they're all in the black-white, so we want to keep the blue splash down if we can. Bloodstained Mire, that's what we want. What does this guy do? So that's kind of flicker stuff. That works with Cloud Goat. That works with Wall of Omens. Not with him, not with him. Works with Sundry Titan. if you really want to go crazy. But I think we need the fixing. Armageddon's also quite good, although you have to learn how to use it, which I don't. Also, this does not really look like the deck for it. So Laren Academy, Mom, Dust Bowl, Pernicious Deed. Maybe just take the Mom. Sure. Like, Dust Bowl's pretty solid, but we can't afford any more lands that don't do anything. Wouldn't mind having one of the bounce lands, from the original Ravnica block. Yeah, mono red was open, but what are you gonna do? It's not a fun thing to do unless you discard a card. Exile creature from the graveyard deals 4 damage to target creature player or generate. Maybe we want that. Or Dreadbore. You know what, actually we'll just take the Molten Tor, the Masticore. We could use an extra way to pitch things. And this is another one that does just does 3 damage every time. I think I just like Blood Gift Demon more. Like, this guy's just pretty insane. Chandra. Tendrils of Agony? I don't think we're the Storm deck. In fact, I'm just going to cut a Chandra here. And then Precursor going. Blue spells and red spells. Like, this works, right? If we sneak and show that. Destroy all lands and all creatures. I'm actually going to take the Garrison here. And that's also kind of insane sometimes. Especially, we can do some shenanigans with that. Alright, so getting towards something here. Yeah, Elspeth is pretty strong. Buried Alive. We're not like dedicated Reanimator. I don't think we can just spend cards on that. Island Swamp or Island Mountain. Swamp Mountain. I think probably the Polluted Delta is what we want here. Sure. Alright, so that's also an option. Tide Hauler, Sculler, Grave Daddy. I don't like this would definitely make the deck, but I think we really need the fixing right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Badlands. Our fixing's starting to come along. Especially like the dual lands, you know, obviously with the fetch lands is crazy interaction. Swamp or Mountain. Do we have anything else that fetches? Oh yeah, so that fetches a swamp as well. So we've got 2 different ways to fetch this. So that kind of takes care of our red right there. Plus Boros Garrison. Which I'm not in love with these things because there's enough lane destruction running around. But whatever. Here's your Golem. Got a Relzeric, Dungeon Geist, Mana Drain. Mana Drain's pretty insane, but we are not that not feeling very blue. We got a Top, we got a Falconwrath Aristocrat, probably isn't really that good in this set. And then you can cast it as though it had Flash. So we can do that with the Emrakul. Alright. I think Shuffles his or her graveyard from his library, so that does not include it. Okay, well, we'll go for some reanimating shenanigans. And wouldn't mind this caves, although those are the kind of the worst things. Path to Exile would be good, but I think Necrattle might be what we want here. If we're gonna do some shenanigans with sneak attack and so forth, having a nice comes into play effect is pretty decent. Yeah, maybe it's Path to Exile though. We're not heavy on early plays. We got a Wall of Omens, Phantasmal Image. Maybe just the Path. Yeah, probably just the Path. Journey to Nowhere is pretty good. Island Mountain also nice to have. This guy, pro black and white, and there's shenanigans, but I don't think we're really that deck. So we can take the Journey or the land. The Mox is okay, I guess. That's some fixing, so that's whatever, but I think I'll just take the land here. Yeah. Shriekmaw, Canarium, Shadow Mage Infiltrator I'd like. Counter target spell. Straighten our, yeah. I think Shriekmaw is what we want. Yeah, because you can evoke it for 2. So we'll take that. It's another thing, good thing to sneak attack with. 3/2 Fear. Alright, so boy. We have some options for building this deck. Probably not gonna be running that. So this is just kind of general good stuff, card advantage. Not gonna run that. We do have some reanimation options, but we're not dedicated to it. So all is best. Voice with Chamber, Wake Thresher. Yeah. Liliana, maybe? Not really the ramp deck for that. Alright, sure. Not sure if we're actually going to play that. Nebraska, Buckets, Metalworker, Etched Oracle, Battlefield Forge. I guess we'll just take the land here. But, yeah. Not super happy about this deck. I'm not an expert in Cube. I like to just build decks around the equipment. I think it's the easiest thing you can do that's still pretty broken, like Umezawa's Jitte is just... For something that doesn't do anything is amazing. Just like, it's so gnarly once it actually gets going. And are we having some issues here? I think we're okay. Yeah, we're still connected. Alright, so we got gifts. I think that's what we want. Yeah, we don't really want to do that. Rager's not a bad early play, but I think we're kind of combo-y, so probably the gifts we want. Indicate path. Skin render's not bad, but I think we got enough of that stuff. Gold draws, yeah. I'll take a Tide Hollow Sculler, I think. Turn the exile card to its owner's hand. Yeah, it's a early play, and it can mess with their stuff. Dungeon Geist, jeez. Should have just been mono blue. Rael Zarek, do you want? I don't think about double blue. Rael Zarek might be good enough for us. Gives us another reason for all these red lands. Yeah, more land. More land. Pretty sure nobody's a storm deck here. Just take the Golgari Signet, I guess. Yeah. And Rakdos Carnarium's not a bad pickup either. See, like Sarcomancy, yeah. So we've got 11 lands, 11 non-basics. So our mana is going to be pretty solid, I think. Alright, so land tax is just pretty insane. Card advantage. That Mother of Runes to protect our reanimation targets is, I think, pretty good. That's an early play. There's just so many broken artifacts running around. That's just always good. Control magic. As long as our mana can reasonably support double blue is good. That's always nice. Take that. Take that. Take that. Bloodline Keeper. What does he do? You transform him, you pretty much just win the game. You can put out 2/2s. I don't think he's bad. He does work with that. Necromancy we definitely keep in. I don't think we want that. Not that. That goes in. That goes in. That goes in. Sure. So choose a number. Player goes his or her hand, discards non-land cards with converted mana cost equal to that number. I think that's just a little. I'm not sure what the correct usage of that is. I'm pretty sure there's a good way to use it, but I don't know what it is. So I think we're gonna actually leave out the Masticore. Especially, he's kind of mana sinky. Alright, so I think this is a 17 land deck, and where's my Eldrazi? There he is. Okay. So that one's a little bit whatever. We might not ever cast this guy. Well, the goal isn't to cast him, obviously. The goal is to necromancy or sneak attack him. Not reanimate him, that's not going to work. But we can do some other stuff. I think we need Liliana Vess just as a way to discard cards. Orzhov Signet, we need the fixing. Reanimate. Alright, so probably something in here. So let me just take a look at my options for blue mana. I got 1, 2, swamp or mountain, which can get a blue source from that. Not a blue source. Yeah, we don't really have that many blue sources. I'll put this in the sideboard, but if they have enough good targets for it, it can come back in. Gifts ungiven, sure. Maybe the Bloodline Keeper should come out. Maybe one of these guys. Precursor Golem. Precursor Golem works well with the sneak attack. Not that great with the other options. Cloud Goat Ranger is also super sneaky. Maybe the Sundering Titan comes out because it's almost good. Like, we're just going to have like every basic land type basically for the most part. So it could be pretty bad for us. And we're not dedicated to the reanimation strategy, we just have it as an option. I think we're going to just cut that. Maybe the Precursor Golem here. This seems reasonable. Alright, so if you look at the stats, we got 2 net. Okay, so should be pretty reasonable on the mana sources here. Alright, so like we absolutely do not need any additional red sources. probably need... Alright, so what was it, 4? And then... Oh, I didn't see any of the power 9, I don't think. So we'll just throw this on in. Alright. So we're a little bit heavy on the black, but mostly black, white, splashing blue and red. And double splash. Alright, so white sources. 1, 2. That counts as 3. This is not for anything. Okay, so yeah, this is white, this is white, this can get white, not white, white. So that was 4, 5, 6. That can get white, 7. 7 white sources already. And then black sources, what did I say? There's only 3 ways to get blue, I think. This can get blue. And that can get, that's blue, and that can get blue. So only 3 blue sources, so we want 1 island at least. And sorry, there are 7 white sources and 1. These are black sources. 2 black sources. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Just see what it suggests. We're not going to do a red source, of course. I think this is reasonable. So we're going to have 9 white sources, 10 black sources, 4 white, 4 blue is a little light, but also we have the land tax that does it. Though maybe we might want to cut a plains for an island, because I don't want to do that because a lot of our early plays are plains centric, but we only have 1 double white card. I think that's okay, because our blue were kind of late plays. It's all in the 4 drops right there. Maybe Ral Zarek isn't actually worth it in this deck, because we don't have any ways, I think, of abusing his +1 ability of untapping things or tapping things, whatever. Yeah, I don't really have any way to abuse it. So what would we put in instead? Like a precursor golem? Short Fang. Sundering Titan. Void. Yeah, I think we're just fine. We can flip some coins. Also, just burn. Just burn's fine. Alright, so we're going to run it like this, and we'll see how it goes.